Vadhwani way of entrepreneurship education. Today we have Ms. Ruchika Kashyap and Ms. Bhumika Jain to take you through the NEN new Vadhwani way, LearnWISE platform and Edcast, and also clarify your doubts regarding the platform. Ruchika Kashyap leads content development and architecture at Vadhwani Foundation for last 1 year. Prior to that, she worked with IBM in various roles such as program manager, learning consultant and competency lead for a good 8 years. Her background is in instructional design and marketing. She loves design and good food, both of which have a lot in common. Sometime earlier in her younger days, she completed her MBA in marketing at BIT Mesra and BA in history from LSR, New Delhi. Bhumika Jain leads Karnataka region in developing and supporting NEN's network of academic institutions and startup ecosystem. She enjoys working with young student entrepreneurs and early stage startup and build relations with various stakeholders. She was one of the pioneer members in starting INSHIAM, the East at Mount Carmel College, and later initiated it during her masters at St. Joseph's College of Commerce. She comes with 4 years of experience in the field of education. She holds master's degree in international business from St. Joseph's College of Commerce. Before we start the session, here are a few reminders for the audience. You will be all on mute. You may ask a question by typing in the panel provided, or if you wish to speak to the speaker directly, then you may click on the raise hand button. You will be provided the audio access only towards the end of the session. Kindly maintain a list of attendees and share with us. Also, please make sure to share the feedback of the session with us once the webinar is over. Over to you, Ruchika.
Thank you, Chippy. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to be talking to you again this afternoon. I've already met so many of you during the EEP in Bangalore, and and also on the group chat in WhatsApp. I continue to often interact with some of you. So I really don't feel as if I'm talking to a new group, and I want you all to be candid in asking your questions, and at any time stop us and ask your questions. Because what we're going to cover right now is in terms of slides is all going to be familiar for you. So really this is about answering your questions really. But yet we want to just take you through a few slides to reinforce and consolidate some of the key messages of the Vadhwani way and the LearnWISE platform. Okay, so I'm going to start now. So the first thing I'm going to do is just talk a little bit about the Vadhwani way and how it is, really a consolidation of all that we've been doing for the last 12-15 years. All that we have done in various areas like education, like e-cells, like capacity building, we'll see it all on one slide today. So really the nucleus of it all is the curriculum, the formal education, and the practicum, which is e-cells and other practical activities that we do outside the classroom. The curriculum focuses on what we will do inside the classroom as per the 6 courses, certificate programs that you already know about, and which we'll go into a little more detail in a while. But the curriculum, the nucleus of our approach, which is an integrated approach, is the practicum and the curriculum. Now, around that, what we have is capacity building, where we have programs for educators, we have programs for faculty, we have programs and development plans for e-leaders, and of course mentors as well. And finally, we'll have events and support services for the entrepreneurs who are coming through the Vadhwani way approach, who are building up. So we have events for them like e-cell challenge, e-week challenge, and more events as and when they are announced, and support services for entrepreneurs like the MentorWise platform and nen.org and so on. So Vadhwani way in a nutshell is an integrated approach which combines these 4 components, one of which is practicum, curriculum, then capacity building, and finally events and support services. Our learning approach has 4 main components. One is learn, second is practice, third is startup, and fourth is grow. The learn component of our approach focuses on providing knowledge, And the tool for that is LearnWISE, which we will go into detail in a little while. Then practice and startup, the aim of that is to provide skills. And there our tools are eCell, practice opportunities on campus through events, practicum. The whole practicum approach is what is sitting here. And then finally, enabling students to start a venture, what we call the student venture or the startup phase. Students, don't just need skills and knowledge, they also need connections. After a certain point of maturity in their entrepreneurship journey, they need connections to be able to grow. So for that, we have a portal called nen.org, which gives students access to mentors, investors, pitch labs, announcements of more workshops, more connections, connecting alumni entrepreneurs with fresh entrepreneurs and so on. It really gives a platform for this entire ecosystem to be connected to each other. Now the curriculum. The first and most important part of our nucleus is really the curriculum. The curriculum is based on a 6-phase roadmap, which encapsulates the Vadhwani way of developing entrepreneurs in terms of the curriculum. So the 6 phases are divided into 2 parts again. The first 4 we call the core, and the last 2 are called the advanced. So the first 4 really start with orientation, go on to discovery, practice, startup, and then final 2 advanced stages are growth and expansion. The first phase obviously is something that is recommended for all students. It's an orientation, and it goes way beyond just an orientation to entrepreneurship. It provides skills to students which they can use in other areas also, whether they choose to be an entrepreneur or not. So this is a program which will be useful to all entrepreneurs. Each one of these phases is mapped to a semester in college. So let us just look at a slide that shows us that mapping. So the orientation phase is what is recommended in first year, first semester. And like I said, this is a recommended course for all students. The second one is discovery, and this is first year, second semester. This is, again, at this stage, students who are interested will want to go into the discovery phase. So there will be some amount of filtration at every stage. So some students will continue on this journey with us. So some students will move from orientation to discovery, go on to practice, and then go on to startup, growth, and so on. And we have a key outcome that we want at the end of every phase. So for example, at the end of the orientation phase, the outcome that we want is that the student becomes interested in entrepreneurship and is keen to join the second course and is keen to choose entrepreneurship as a career. Another outcome that we are expecting from the orientation phase is that he or she joins the eCell at the end of the course. At the end of the second course or second program, which is the discovery phase, we expect that the student has, has decided on an idea. He has chosen to be an entrepreneur. So he has done some discovery exercises. He, for now, has made up his mind, at least for this moment. He's sort of certain that he wants to continue with this phase and try his hands and discover for himself whether entrepreneurship is really for him or not. So he wants to take the next steps. So he comes up with an idea, works on that idea, and builds a prototype at the end of this discovery phase. And then practice phase, the outcome of this is that he goes deeper into customer development, partner and channel validation, creates his model plan, business model plan, and so on. But really one more big outcome here is that the campus venture, he participates in a campus venture. That is why, in fact, we call it the practice phase. That he gets to practice his, his whatever he has learned so far from orientation to this phase, and he tries his hand at entrepreneurship using the tool called the campus venture or the campus company. It's called both campus venture and campus company. And this is done as part of a team on the campus. Then phase 3 is startup phase. In this, now is the time when the student takes a decision to start up on his own. So the difference between practice and startup is that at this phase, he or she takes the decision that, okay, I'm ready to now start up my own venture. So this is the time he makes the decision. Of course, he can partner with somebody. And then, of course, he may use the same idea that he used in the practice phase, or he may use a new idea, but he makes up his mind. This is the key phase. And then after that is the two growth phases, advanced phases. One is growth and one is expansion, which we would really call optional because we're not sure how many students will want to enroll for both these. Orientation program in entrepreneurship, or what we call Course 100, is already been launched. Some of you have started taking classes in this in your campuses. We have already started getting some feedback on that. And fortunately, it is all good feedback. So here I'm just going to talk a little about what is that this course covers. This course, just give me a moment please. The outcomes of this course are that the student becomes career ready with some specific entrepreneurial skills such as communication for forming better relationships, design thinking, building risk and resilience, and learning whether entrepreneurship is really for him or not. And how they do it is with the help of figuring out or finding out their own entrepreneurship style and finding out whether they have the potential or not, and finding out their entrepreneurial strengths and gaps. So this is done through an exercise and a quiz in class, and there are videos supporting all this. And finally, another outcome of course is that they should be inspired to join the next course, which is the basic program in entrepreneurship, which we refer to as 101. Be inspired to join the Vadhwani e-cell. And of course, finally, be inspired to consider entrepreneurship as a valid career option. Course 100 is divided into 9 lessons. The first lesson is about how to get started with this course, what is entrepreneurship, how has entrepreneurship impacted the world, forming teams in class, because they will work with the same teams throughout the duration of this course. So they form those teams, a nice icebreaker, couple of more inspiring videos, so Let's Get Started is really about getting them inspired and getting them excited, and also getting them familiar as to how to use the platforms. So there is, for example, some videos on how to use LearnWISE, how to use Edcast. Lesson 2 is about exploring e-cells on campus. E-cells, as you know, the second part of the nucleus, the practicum, is, in some ways, really the heart of the Vadhwani way. Because we have seen far more successes coming from e-cells, and throughout our 12-year journey of running entrepreneurship education on campuses. So we want to give it so much emphasis that we made it lesson number 2. And the idea of having it as lesson number 2 is that students join the e-cell right after lesson number 2. If we had planned this as a later lesson, as lesson 8 or lesson 9, then we would have lost 6 months. So we wanted students to really get excited and join e-cells right in the beginning of their journey. So e-cells provide an informal and friendly space to students to explore entrepreneurship. Not just that, to form friends, to form relationships, to explore much more than what a campus experience would normally give you, and develop skills which are so useful for them that they help them in every aspect of their careers, subsequently in even campus interviews, in becoming better leaders, in creating a presence for entrepreneurship on campus as well as for themselves on campus. Lesson 3, listen to some success stories. So this is again a purely inspirational lesson where we take students through some global success stories and through some local success stories. Local meaning here, for India, because we are launching this program in a couple of other countries as well. So in India, they will look at some India-specific success stories and have a discussion in class about that. And they'll also look at some global success stories, have a discussion around that also. Lesson 4 is the lesson that I was referring to about, which is about discovering your entrepreneurship style. So this may cause a little concern to students and to faculty, and you may feel that, oh, it's too early for me to discover my entrepreneurship style. But there is really nothing to worry. It is your potential. So if you don't want to continue with entrepreneurship, even then, if you know what your potential entrepreneurship style or possibility is, there is no harming in knowing that, and that may give confidence to some students. And it is not this exercise or this lesson will not leave you with a feeling that you don't have the potential. It will only tell you that you have the potential to be X kind of entrepreneur versus another kind of entrepreneur. So there is a Vadhwani way model, a 5M model, a new model that we have developed specially for the purpose of, launching it as a part of the student programs. These programs we've developed especially for that. So it will help students discover themselves. Also, what happens is that often students have the strengths, but there is no one to tell them that these are your strengths. So no one will be told their weaknesses via this exercise. They will be told their strengths and what they should work on, to become even better, and who they should work with. So supposing my strength is organizing, then perhaps I should work with someone who's more creative and who is less of an organizer but more of a creative person. So that is the kind of input I will get at the end of lesson 4. Lesson 5 is how to use best practices in communication to form better relationships. So the emphasis of this lesson is not just communication, it is really to form better relationships. And relationships, as you will know, are important for everyone and more so for entrepreneurs. Sales skills, like we are actually covering three selling techniques in the sales skills lesson. So one is personal selling, the other is elevator pitch, and the third is show and tell. So at the end of, and giving enough practice in class to students, so at the end of this lesson, which is actually the biggest lesson here, it comprises 4 sessions. Students will become very confident and of at least being able to, sell basic, things like a simple product or a simple idea, and their presentation skills will improve greatly at the end of this. Lesson 7 teaches the basics of design thinking. We realize that design thinking is a very complex topic, and we cannot teach all of design thinking in an orientation program. But to teach students just enough to be able to, start thinking like a design thinker and acknowledging the basic principles of design thinking will bring in a mindset change. So tomorrow, when they continue with this journey and go into 101 and 102, the next courses, basic course, foundation course, startup course, when they start on this journey, their thinking would have been set at this stage, that what is the best way to think of new products, what is the best way to think of your customers, what is the best way to design a service, what is the best way to design a solution. So that we would have set the stage for them right now. And then managing risks and learning from your failures. This is a trait which is so important for each one of us, no matter what age we are, and more so for entrepreneurs, and whether we are learning to be entrepreneurs or whether we are just learning to take up a job. We will constantly face risks and failures in our life. And if you can learn to manage those and rebound and find yourself re-energized and bounce back from those. So that is what we are teaching here with the help of many exercises and activities. We are teaching them how to manage risks and learn from your failures. And finally, the last lesson is self-reflective and a classroom activity-based lesson where we put this question to the students that are you ready to be an entrepreneur or not. So this lesson has consolidates all the learning so far and ask students to reflect and think on their plans going forward. And even if they choose not to be entrepreneurs, that is all right, but they should be able to make the decision, having all the information at hand and consciously. They should not be taking this decision blindly. And so we help them and we guide them through that process in lesson 9 through a class activity and some self-reflection exercises. Okay, so the practicum framework that we have now after the curriculum, let me just speak about the practicum framework for a moment. Practicum framework we have divided into 3 parts. There are some basic programs for students, there are some advanced programs, and there are some common programs. All these will be run outside the classroom, and they will be run as part of e-cells. Under the basic programs, we have some activities and games. Some of these are listed here: the My Story session, entrepreneurship movies, $1 venture, idea competition, ideation game, and then 2 more games which are we are yet to decide and announce. And for advanced programs, we will have a boot camp and we'll have 2 workshops: business model, business plan, design thinking. In terms of programs, we will run these programs: campus companies, startup internships, startup weekend, student venture. Common programs, we'll have the Smarty Challenge and webinars. And running across all this is a capacity building effort where we will run e-leader workshops for the e-leaders on campuses. And this in turn will help us, encourage and build the practicum program and run that in all campuses. So without the capacity building of e-leaders, we will not be able to make it a success. So in fact, that is the first thing that we are doing right now for launching the practicum set of activities for this year. We are running the e-leader workshops in early August. Okay, so now I have completed what I wanted to share about our Vadhani way in terms of our curriculum and practicum. We can now focus on the platforms that we will use. So I'm going to ask Bhumika to speak about this.
Thank you, Ruchika. While most of you would be aware on what the platform LearnWISE is, we are assuming that there will be a lot of new faculty members who are a part of the webinar. So let me take you through this, to the platform in a very short way, or just to the platform, and show you what is LearnWISE and how, as faculty and students, you will be using this platform for entrepreneurship education on campus. So LearnWISE is basically an integrated platform where students, faculty, as well as the institutions will run all their entrepreneurship education programs on the campus. It has been divided into, there are two components to LearnWISE. One is the web portal, which is nen.learnwise.nen.org, and the other one is an Android app, which we are calling as LearnWISE. What is the web portal going to be used for is for some learning resources, access to mentors, investors, and also a lot of service provider connects. You will be able to take part in a lot of events, workshops, as well as webinars, and enroll yourselves for events, and also get some personalized content to understand the entrepreneurship world and the startup ecosystem in a better manner. And through the app, institutions would be onboarding themselves to run the curriculum as well as the practicum program. They would be creating the batches. Faculty would be guiding students to enroll on the app, as well as students will be able to view the content, assignments, and update their tasks. You can also have group chat with your batchmates through the app. So what is the use of the LearnWISE platform for the faculty? Faculty would be using this to start a batch, schedule a course, basically the orientation program in entrepreneurship currently, which is course 100. You can edit the course plan as per the requirements and schedules based on your calendar on the app itself, which would send out an intimation or a notification to students if you are having any change in plan to run the curriculum program on campus. You can approve, reject, or as well release a student through the app. You can track assignments of students. You can notify students that you have created a new batch, or you have the next lesson coming up. The notifications will go to students from your page through the app. You can add any kind of lessons, assignments, activities on the app, which will again be notified to the students on the app, as well as pass on any important information. From the student perspective, they will use the platform to join the batch, view the course plan that has been shared or created by the faculty members. They see the details of the other students in the batch. Students can submit assignments, chat and communicate with their friends as well as facilitators through the app. For college administration or the admin who has the first access to the LearnWISE app, they would use this to create the institute profile, add the faculty members, as well as create the faculty profile who would be facilitating and running the curriculum course as well as the practicum programs on campus. So how would the institute, students as well as the faculty members access and use the LearnWISE app? At the back end, the Vadvani Foundation team will add your institute onto the portal and register the institute in the back end, after which an automated mail would go to the Vadvani Foundation admin, which would either be the ESL coordinator, your director, principal, or any other person the facilitators have authorized to be admin to the program or the platform. They would get an automated mail from the LearnWISE platform with the login credentials. The process for the admin is to log in, to click over here, click here for the portal, download the portal on the laptop, use the username and password and create their institute profile as the respective faculty members, and also change the password as and when the platform is going to prompt them. In case you have any assistance or need, please connect to the NEN regional managers, or you can also write to us at support@vadvanifoundation.org. So this is basically the snapshot of the email that will be going out to the admins of all the institutes. After which the admin would add the faculty members on this page over here, which says add faculty, and all the faculty members who have been added by the admin, faculty members who will be running the curriculum as well as the practicum program. It is not going to be any faculty from campus, it is going to be the ESL faculty or faculty members who will be running the programs on campus that the admin is going to add, and they would be featuring on the list of the admin page as well as the faculty page in the app, and after which they would have to go and create the respective badges to run the program. So once the faculty is added, faculty would get an automated mail again from the platform with a link to download the app on their mobile phones. Please note this has to be downloaded on the mobile phone, it's not a web-based app, and you have to use your login credentials, log into the app as a faculty and then change your password, which will then take you to the next page, ask you to sign in and complete your profile and add this, create a batch, manage your program, manage your curriculum program, ask the students to come and enroll on the LearnWISE app, schedule your calendars and communicate any information relating to the curriculum or the practicum programs will be delivered by the faculty members through the app. You can make all these changes on the app once you log in and create the batch. So once you create a batch, you will have to go to the student, go to class and ask them to download the LearnWISE app from the Google Play Store and enroll themselves the respective batches that you have created for them. Once the student enrolls, they would get an automated mail again with the details and confirmation that they have joined this particular batch and they have to now enroll for the courses. And they have to fill up their profiles and connect with their classmates through the app. So this is the snapshot of the mail that will reach out to the students once you guide them to download the app as well as register into the respective batches. This is the process for the students once the enrollment request has been accepted by the faculty members. They have the access to batch details, access to peer details, access to course, any scheduling and rescheduling of the calendar will be notified to the students on the app, and also students can communicate with other students and faculty in the particular batch itself, to the particular group. Right? So now we know that how to use this platform. The teachers have been selected, the batch has been created. How are you going to really use EdCast and deliver these lessons in class would be taken by Ruchika. Over to you, Ruchika.
Thanks, Bhumika. You know, if I was to try and explain this very simply, this is how I will put it. You know, LearnWISE helps you access, you know, all your content. LearnWISE helps you access, you know, is like, you know, your way of just enrolling, forming batches, and so on. But all your content actually sits in Edcast. Okay, so if you were to just try and understand the difference between the two, you know, so you will form your batches and you will, you know, try to enroll students and, you know, your own enrollment, that all that you will do on Edcast. But for getting the content, you have to go to Edcast. So all your content really sits. So it's a web-based learning management system, but in a simple way, you just need to think of it as a place which hosts all the content. Okay, and as faculty, for you, all your resources that you need for teaching these courses are organized in a very simple, easy to use way on Edcast. So before the class, you can, you know, go through all the materials that are there. You can go through the videos, and after the class also, during the class when you are running the videos, you can, you know, launch them through Edcast itself. So it is really like your, you know, I mean, what we used to, we could have called a library in the past, you know, and or your own book, your reference book. It is like your reference book. And for preparing for the class also, you can refer to the session plans and facilitator notes, which are there in the facilitator section. So there is a, you know, we have really divided into two parts. One is where the course itself sits, you know, where the videos are and where the, you know, exercises are and so on. But the second part is where all the facilitator notes are. And those have the session plans and they have facilitator notes for each exercise. The videos continue to sit in the student section. So there are two parts, the student section and the facilitator section. So you will show the, if you're in class, you will show the videos through the student section. But when you are at, you know, home or in your staff room, whenever you're preparing for this, you can refer to the session plans and facilitator notes in the facilitator section. Students can also, of course, you know, access Edcast to go through the videos, to go through the content of the course. There is a quiz for students which they can take on Edcast itself. They also have access to discussion forums on Edcast. And last but not the least, they can refer to the assignment. The assignment is also hosted on Edcast for the students. So as far as your workflow goes, you will have to, you know, use, you'll have to create your own Edcast login. And you know, the best practice here is to use the LearnWISE login, which you know, Bhumika has already spoken about and will add more to this at the end of my presentation. And or you can create a fresh login for Edcast. It's a very simple process, you know, just the way you create a login for any portal. Let's say you join Jabong or Myntra or Amazon. The way you create for a login for any one of those, same way you create a login for Edcast. So there is nothing, you know, and same way it will send you a mail to confirm your login, and you know, and you will follow that mail link and you will go back and get access. It is exactly the same. And then once you have access, of course, you can access the course content, and course content includes videos. Videos are of several types. There are conceptual videos, activity instruction videos, debrief videos, introduction videos, and you know, some of the videos are what we call inspiration videos. So you also have videos like why join an e-cell, what is entrepreneurship, how is entrepreneurship change the world, and then of course you have the conceptual videos, what is design thinking, activity instructions for the design thinking exercise, and so on. Class activities are also explained, facilitated through the videos. Facilitator notes will be there, session plan, assignments, quizzes, all this will be there on Edcast. Any question and answers, we'll take them now from the group here. And Bhumika, please feel free to add something that you'd like to about the login.
Sure, Ruchika, thank you. Just coming back to the flow of the, you know, the whole approach. Once you create your batches in the LearnWISE portal and the LearnWISE app and the students register, you will log into Edcast to run the programs in class. So our high recommendation or something that we strongly recommend here is please use the same login credentials for LearnWISE as well as EdCast, because going forward you will be integrating both the platforms together and making it one platform, and this will help you access all the things smoothly and better. So this is a strong recommendation. Please use the same login credentials.
Okay, thank you, Rita and Bhumika. We have some questions here. So I will just read some of that, and some have already requested for direct access. So we will give that once we run through the questions. So the question, one question is this a faculty training or a student training? So this course 100, is it purely for students or any faculty also can be part of this? So I think Ruchika, you can answer that.
Certainly, certainly. Course 100 is for students. I mean, absolutely for students only. We have a separate program for faculty, which we call Entrepreneurs Educator Program, Entrepreneurship Educator Program. And as a part of that, we have 1 day of training for faculty as to how to teach 100, how to teach the orientation course. But 100 and the orientation course is for students alone.
And many of the faculties might have gone through this 1 day training for 100. It was called Entrepreneurship Educators Program, a 3-day program which we have run in most of the cities. So they're already trained how to take this course back on campuses. The next question is, it's from Alana Institute of Management Studies. They have an ESL, but it is completely inactive now. So what can be done to revive it? I think Bhumika will be a better person to answer this.
Yeah, certainly, Chippy. So there are two ways to tackle this, I would say. One is that I recommend that they should run the curriculum course 100 strongly for most of the students on campus, if not all students, because this will take care of your orientation to entrepreneurship and most largely also some skill building for students, which will excite them because most of it is video based and activity oriented learning. It's a facilitated blended model. Which will excite the students and drive their attraction to your ESL. And also for the first 2 or 3 months, please have some fun activities in the ESL, which will give the students a lot of learning. But also they are going to be extremely excited and happy about being a part of those activities, which will again excite them, motivate them, inspire them, and bring them to your ESL. So from the practicum point of view, you will have a lot of fun elements added onto your activities. From the structure and the curriculum point of view, please give the course 1002 all students on campus.
So there was
May I add something to this, Chippy? May I add something to this?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So I just wanted to share that, we've always had very exciting activities for the ESLs, even in the past. But using all that experience, we've relaunched our practicum program now. And, the lineup of activities that we have for students will really help in reviving ESLs in any institute. So, when you're working with the consultants, you will get the new materials and the new approach, and you'll get support to launch that. And you will see that the materials, whatever we have made for the activities, and will really inspire your campus students as well as faculty to run these programs all over again.
Thank you, Ruchika. There's a question, what can we do in final year of engineering? If we are in the final year of engineering for students, I think that is the question. And how do we start this course? Hope I have understood it right.
Yeah. So coming to that, the course has no restrictions that you should be giving it only to first years, second years or final years. You can introduce 100 to any semester students right now and ask them to be a part of the course. One thing. Most largely, please drive interested key final year students who really want to expedite their process and become entrepreneurs in this year end. Please bring them onto your eSL and do a lot of hand holding and hands-on experiential programs which will help them to start their ventures and take it to the next level. Plan your programs and activities in such a manner that these students expedite their process as well as become entrepreneurs before they pass out of engineering or any other course in their final year.
Thank you, Bhumika. So there's a question, what are the start dates of these courses? I think it solely depends on the calendar of the campus.
It's solely one thing, it depends completely on the calendar of the campus. There is no start or end date to it, for a simple reason that every institution has a different calendar to start. So you can take a call, and if your students are already on campus, we recommend you start the course at the earliest. So you get more number of weeks with the students to make them do a lot of activities through the curriculum program as well.
Okay, this is again regarding the Android app. If student doesn't have a smartphone, how do we go about them accessing this? I think Bhumika, you can go ahead.
Okay. So if students do not have Android phones for now, we recommend you please capture their details manually. We're shortly coming out with a web version of the portal. As soon as the web version is out, you can ask the students to enroll on the platform. Except for Android, people, they don't have smartphones. If they have iOS, if they have Windows or BlackBerry, please capture the details manually for now.
Can take this course anytime, or there is some specific date?
We've already addressed this question earlier, Chippy, but just to reiterate, yes, students can take this course anytime, but only thing that you need to note about this, they cannot take it individually because most of it is activity based. It has to start at a classroom session. And it's a facilitated blended learning model, so students cannot take this course individually or offline or off class hours. You have to dedicate 2 to 3 hours per week towards the program in a classroom on campus.
Can students create their own login on EdCast, or faculty have to create?
Students can create their own login IDs. So once you guide the students to download the LearnWISE app, they can either use their Facebook profiles, Google+, LinkedIn, or as well as their emails to create the login IDs.
There is something related to the certification of this course, Ruchika. Do the faculty get a certificate for facilitating the program in the class?
Please, can you come again? I didn't understand the question.
This is about the certificate for the faculty, for the facilitators. Do these faculty get a certificate for facilitating the program in the class?
The faculties are given a certificate of participation when they participate in the EEP program, in an entrepreneurship educator program. I'm not aware of any certification that is done for running the program.
Okay.
Just to add on to that, yes, faculties will get a certificate they don't get a certificate for EEP, they get a letter of participation. And they get certified later on for various different programs based on how they as a facilitator deliver these programs on campus. And second thing is that for facilitating this course in class, faculty do not get a certificate. Facilitators don't get a certificate.
The next question relates to the student certification. How is student certification planned?
Okay, the students will be certified jointly by Vadhwani Foundation and the institute offering the course. At the end of the course, the certificate will be given for the participation and completion of the program. So to be able to assess whether a student is, qualified to certify or not, we will have an evaluation, and that is on the basis of the assignments that we will be giving periodically to the students.
Okay, there is something related to the advantages for the college in terms of monetary benefits. Is there any advantage of participating, in this curriculum? With what, as far as my understanding is concerned, they can charge a minimal fee for the students and run this program, and it solely depends on how the institute is running, and they can take a call on this.
So the monetary benefits, to what I understand the question should be, is that from the foundation perspective, we will not be monetizing any institutions to run this program. But if the institutions are willing to charge their students to run the certificate program, you can take a call at your end internally as to how much you want to charge your students and run the programs on campus.
Okay. The next question is related to EdCast. Will the students be able to see facilitator notes, because I think it's better for the students not to have the access to the facilitator notes. I think Ruchika, you will be able to answer this.
Yes, definitely. So, when we launched the program earlier this month, we did have this thing that where the student notes where the facilitator notes were accessible to the students, and as of today they still are, but next week we will move them, we'll move all the facilitator notes to a different location, and that access will stop. So that concern that facilitators had, next week you will get the link to the new location for the facilitator notes, and this problem will be over.
Okay. There is in the curriculum, in which category these courses will come, like in core courses, humanities, or in some elective courses.
Okay. So these courses are largely, to what I understand, it could be either elective course, it could also be a core course. Again, this is a complete internal call that we want the institutes to take as to how would they want to run the program. 3 or 4 options could be, one is you call it a value-add program or a certificate program. A lot of autonomous institutes have a credit course system, so you can launch this as a credit course program. And also you can launch this as a mainstream program or an elective course. This is not restricted to any core department or any particular department of students. You can launch this course to any student, irrespective of which stream or domain they come from.
I think there are some more questions coming in. There is a Hotel Management Institute wants to know, apart from running a campus company related to food, F&B, what else they can run as a campus company? Ruchika?
Please, can you come again? There was some noise, so I didn't understand the question.
Okay, so there is a question from a Hotel Management Institute. They wanted to know, apart from running a campus company related to F&B, what else they can start as a campus company?
As a campus company?
Yes.
Apart from F&B?
Yes, it's a Hotel Management Institute. So what other campus company can be introduced apart from a canteen or a food joint? What else they can do?
In a hotel management, yeah? In a hotel management institute.
Right.
Mm-hmm. If it is non-F&B, I mean, I can't think of anything right now, but there can be so many services that you can add, which are, but it will all have to be related to F&B. So I'm just thinking aloud here as to the strengths that the Hotel Management Institute will be in F&B only. But of course, if they have an interest in any other area, there is nothing stopping them from going for it, no?
There's a question.
There is nothing stopping them from opening a campus venture in any area, which is even not if it is F&B. But their strengths are in F&B. So I'm just wondering,
Yes, yes. Okay. Thanks, Ruchika. There is one question again related to the LearnWISE app. This we have already mentioned. This is related to whether they get the authentication mail and password to the institute. Of course, when I am reiterating, WF admin adds the institute you will get a mail with a login credential to the admin ID which has been provided by the institute. So through that you can log into the portal, add your faculty, and then faculty can register and then they can download the app. So there is a authentication mail and password sent to you once we register the institute to the portal. So there are questions about assignments on these courses, Rujika. Are these assignments online or offline?
The assignments are offline. The instructions for the assignments, the the description of the assignment is available on Edcast, and it can be downloaded by students and faculty. Faculty also has instructions for evaluating the assignment. There are faculty notes for that. They can be downloaded. They are available on Edcast. But there is nothing else which is online about it. The submission, the doing of the assignment will be offline. The students will do it offline. They may either make a presentation, or they may make a prototype, or they may make, depending on the assignment, or they may make a Word document, or they may make a poster, and they will submit it to the students, to their facilitators. They can choose to submit it online in the sense that they can email it to them. But we have not made any arrangements so far on Edcast or on LearnWISE that it has to be done via that.
Okay. So to complete all 6 phases of this entire program, what will be the duration of the course?
Sorry, please come again.
To complete all 6 phases from orientation to expansion, what is the duration of the course?
Oh, okay. So let me explain the duration and how much time it will take for a student to consume all these courses. See, all the courses are 40 hours each, and except for the first course, which is the orientation course, which is deliberately so. Orientation course is 30 hours, all the other courses are 40 hours. So total we have 230 hours. Now let's take it one typical semester. In one typical semester, let's say we are doing, the first course, 30 hours. We do 20 hours in the classroom, okay, over 10 weeks. So we spread it over 10 weeks. Every week a student does 2 hours in the classroom with the facilitator. And the remaining 10 hours is spread through the 10 weeks, is spread through the 10 weeks as assignments. Okay, so it is not that every 1 week you should spend the time on the assignment. It is spread depending on when you get the assignment. You may get the assignment on the 2nd week or on the 4th week. That depends on the lesson. All lessons don't have assignments. So basically what we need to remember is that the course is 2 hours per week, total of 20 hours in the classroom. Even the bigger courses, which is the basic and the next 5 courses, which are all 40 hours, even those are 20 hours in the classroom, which can be done over 10 weeks. See, this 10-week spread is deliberate again, so that any institute can fit it into their semester. Some universities, some colleges had 12-week semesters, some had 15 weeks, some had 16-week semesters, so that any college can run this course of 100 or 101 or 102. We deliberately kept it as a 10-week program. So 2 hours every week in the classroom. Beyond that, it is all assignments. And total is 40 hours for all the courses except the first one, which is 30 hours. Does that help?
Yeah, thanks Rujika. And there was a question whether the course is free, this entire course 100, next the Discover, all 6 phases of free course for students.
Please come again.
Are these courses free of cost? Is Vadhwani Foundation charging any fee for this?
I think that's a question Bhumika should answer.
Okay, so Vadhwani Foundation is not going to charge any fee for the course. It's a free of cost course that we are giving to all institutions across the country. However, if you want to charge your students, it's a complete internal call. You can charge them for the certificate program and go ahead.
So the question is, we have an integrated campus of engineering and management studies. What kind of courses are recommended for us?
Okay. I think the curriculum program is not divided into any stream as such. You can offer it to both engineering as well as the management students. while you get on to your practicum programs, you can plan your activities or events or entrepreneurship programs in such a manner that both the set of students, be it engineering or management students, are benefited largely from whatever you're trying to offer them. So you could either have a combination of events and programs keeping their streams in mind, or also have common activities where both the streams can come together, join hands and use their expertise and come up with something different in terms of a venture or also in terms of enhancing their research on campus.
Thank you, Bhumika. I think some more questions are coming in, but we might have to close this and wind this up soon. So thank you, Ruchika and Bhumika, for the wonderful session and taking all the question answers up and effectively answering it. Thank you all for such an interactive session, all the participants. For any further questions and issues on anything related to EdCast, LearnWISE and the course, please write to us at support@wadhwani-foundation.org. If there are any questions unanswered in the webinar, if we have missed out anything, we will be personally writing to you and getting in touch with you. However, when you are launching your course, when you are going through curriculum and non-curriculum, the practicum, kindly write to us and also reach out to your regional manager for any quick remedies. Thank you once again and have a nice evening.